Republicans have not found their feet yet, to say the least, in terms of criticizing, let alone meaningfully opposing what Biden is doing. I mean, this, too, is a remarkable thing about the State of the Union right now and about the prospects for President Biden's agenda. Look at the string of weird, made-up, cockamamie stuff that the Republicans have been talking about since Biden has been president. I mean, just think about what you have heard from them, what you have heard from conservative media and from Republican elected officials about their greatest concerns and the things most animating them since the Biden administration has been in place. There was the freak out about Mr. Potato Head. There was a freak out about the Muppets. Although I'm not actually even sure what they were mad about, but they were very mad about the Muppets, very close on the heels of them being very mad about Mr. Potato Head. Then they were mad about Dr. Seuss. Then they were mad this past week about Joe Biden's big meat ban, even though Joe Biden is not banning meat. That was totally made up. One Fox News anchor, to his credit, yesterday did run an on-air correction apologizing for the Fox News channel repeatedly hyping this story that Biden was going to ban meat when that was not actually a proposal from the Biden administration to the president at all. There was one Fox anchor who made a statement on camera apologizing for that network hyping that false story. But for the last few days, Republicans have been all over that. They've also been hyping a totally different, also totally false story that all kids detained by immigration authorities at the U.S. border were being given a child's picture book written by Vice President Kamala Harris. The implication was that the Biden administration was bulk buying Vice President Harris's children's book to give to immigrant kids at the border. That is totally made up. That is not happening. It is literally just a made up story created out of whole cloth. Didn't happen. Isn't happening. Never proposed. But that's the latest one. It's become yet another new, animating, totally fake grievance in conservative media and among Republican elected politicians, because this is how they spend their time now. Tonight, I should tell you, a New York Post reporter, the New York Post is owned by the same company that owns Fox News. Tonight, a New York Post reporter whose byline was on the Post's version of the fake Kamala Harris children's book story. That reporter resigned from the New York Post tonight, saying this publicly on Twitter. She says, quote, "An announcement. Today I handed in my resignation to the editors at the New York Post. The Kamala Harris story, an incorrect story I was ordered to write and which I failed to push back hard enough against. That was my breaking point." That reporter from the New York Post, Laura Italiano, saying tonight she quit her job over being forced to concoct and advance that false story, fake story about something the Biden administration absolutely did not do. But it's just one in a bunch of those now. And it nevertheless remains like a top story in conservative media right now and among elected Republican members of Congress who you would think had other things to talk about. It is weird, and I will tell you, I think it's not just a sidebar. I think it's an important thing about where our democracy is at and where the prospects for Biden's agenda is at heading into tomorrow's State of the Union. It's weird, but it is significant that Republicans over and over and over again over these last 98 days have just incessantly gone for these made-up sidebar crises and controversies, one after the other, that aren't real things, and that certainly aren't things the Biden administration is doing. I mean, there's other stuff to talk about if you're in opposition, right? If you're a governing party in opposition. Biden and the Democrats just passed a $2 trillion COVID relief bill. They're going to pass another bill that size on infrastructure, and with more coming after that. But instead of talking about that stuff, the Republicans, the opposition party, is like, Muppets, bacon, Muppets and bacon, Seuss. If you are the Biden White House, that's probably a good sign that the opposition party really does not know what to say about you and does not know what to say about the substance of what you're doing. You know, I mean, in life in general, if people have to make up things about you to criticize, that probably means the real life way you're living isn't too bad. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.